This is one thing that you shouldn't do. As a person traveling to a different country where you hardly speak the language, well, for me, it's not that I hardly speak the language. I knew zero Spanish. When I say zero Spanish, I just knew hola. So most of the places where I was going to, I made sure every time when I go by myself, I made sure that I didn't drink to the level where no, it wasn't drinking to the level where you letting the fun get to your head. No, you don't want to do that. I mean, the fun could get to your head, but you gotta have a group of people that you could trust in order to let that to happen. So here's what happened. First thing first, the name of this place is called Havana Casa de la Musica. Havana Casa de la Musica is a beautiful venue where you go, the music is live. If you're into rumba, you would definitely love this place. Not only that you would love it, you would experience music. It's live music, and also you're doing salsa at the same time. Reason being, I'm saying you shouldn't do what I did is we came here knowing that I had 6 hours, I think 7 hours or 6 hours before my flight. My flight, well, not 6 hours before my flight. I think it was probably I was supposed to be at the airport, around five a.m. Since my flight was at 7 or 8 a.m. Now the thing that ended up happening was we get to Havana Casa de la Musica. Once we got there, me and my friend, Jorge, you will see Jorge there dancing. Now we came out here just as the last day, last celebration. Like I'm going back to Atlanta, and blah blah blah. Cuba has been good, so the last celebration. Man, I tell you this. We got to that place. That place was so live. The music was good. Everything was going smooth. We had a table. It's sort of like you get there, you pay before you come in. So you pay for your ticket. After you pay for your ticket, if you want a table, they will ask you if you want a table. Now the table is a form of like a VIP, or just you get a section where you just sit down and then enjoy the music. Now if you want to dance, you have to get onto the. You see, like there's a dance floor. You go up there and you dance. So what ended up happening is we got a table. So I got a table, so me and my friend could just, hang out. It was supposed to be more people that was supposed to come out. Unfortunately, something happened the last minute, which I'm not going to mention what happened the last minute. So some people didn't come, but, some people had to go to work at night, and some other people, it was just a whole bunch of stuff. So Jorge was like, you know what, let's just go. So then I was like, you know what, since he's telling me he likes music, Jorge loves music, and I love music. So when he told me like, hey, this place is gonna be live music, and they're gonna be playing salsa, they're gonna be playing, reggaeton, they're gonna be playing rumba, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. So let's go. We get there. We get the table. I order, I get the section, and then I order a drink. And the rum that I ordered, that rum was strong. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the thing is, the reason why you was able to see the food at the beginning was because that food that I ate was not really something that could block the alcohol that was about to go into my system to create chaos before my flight. So we get there, we drinking and we doing all kinds of stuff, and dancing, and the women are dancing, men are dancing, and some people are just staring at you very hard. They want you to make a move onto them. But I'm like, nah, today's my last day. I don't want no chica. I don't want no nothing. I just want to have fun, just dance and just enjoy myself. So I'm enjoying myself. They play the music, the instrument will comes in, the persecution will come in, all the rhythm are just going through, and the performances are just blowing my mind away. As the music is playing, because the thing is when the music start getting good, it start getting better, it wasn't like the music is starting getting better. It already started out the high notes. The music already started at high notes. As soon as they came out with a strong force, like boom, we come in there, we knock in the door, and this sound is to stay. So they perform heavy. And I don't even know what the name of this band was, but they did their thing. So I'm just taking in the drink. As I'm doing a little bit of dancing, I'm taking in the drink, not really realizing that the food that I ate had literally no meat in it. And since it didn't have no meats in it, all I had was just rice. Well, it had meat, but the corned beef was not really a meat that could hold the alcohol. So by drinking heavy, rum that had a higher percentage of alcohol, that worked me out the whole night. Well, at the end of the night, it started to get to me. It got to me so bad, man. My glasses, the glasses that I had on, man. Good thing is, I have to personally thank Jorge for helping me come out of this situation, because there was no way. I don't think if I was by myself I would have drank like that. But since I knew he was there, I kind of, drank like that. And that moment really kind of showed me, who is your friend and who is not your friend. When you go to a place where it's your first time being there and the last day. So at the end of the night, somehow by miracle, he was messed up too, because we were both just in there just wilding out. We was wilding out, and then the next thing you know, it was time to go. How we got in the cab, I was throwing up. It was just a disaster. It was like a hangover movie. So by the time we didn't even make it to my apartment. We ended up going to his sister's house. Now, when we got to his sister's house with the cab, they put me in the shower. Put me in the shower. I was throwing up. I had throw up all over my clothes. And yeah, they put me in a hot, not a cold shower. Cold shower. I took a cold shower, and then, man, even before taking that cold shower, what happened was, I tried to get into the shower. Since my footwork was not really good, I missed a step. Next thing you know, I fell on my back. While being drunk at that time, I didn't really feel it, but I knew I fell onto something. So I fell on my back, and then I got up and started laughing. I got back in the shower. I took a shower. After the shower, I told him, I'm like, man, I got to sleep for at least 1 hour. Now, the flight, I got to get to the airport at 5 a.m. Now, we're home like around 4 a.m., 4:30 or 4:40, something like that. Now, I got about 30, 20, we got there 4 a.m. We got to his sister's house. And I had about 30 minutes to get to the airport. And I was really, really in a hangover movie. So they gave me some coffee, and the coffee that they gave me, it was so hot, it burned my whole gum. The front tooth was burned. Like, it was really hot because I was drinking coffee and at the same time really not fully conscious. But I knew it was coffee. I'm like, all right, cool. They're like, just drink it. So I drink it, next thing you know, it burned my gum. And then it started burning my tongue, and I'm like, you know what, just chill with the coffee. Let me just sleep for 30 minutes. So, already we just kept pressing the button like, you gotta wake up, you gotta catch the flight. So thank you already for this. And I just kept drinking. Well, no, I kept drinking the coffee. So after I drank the coffee, I wasn't really fully recovered. So after 30 minutes of just taking a nap, we woke up and were like, cool, still a little under the influence. We took another cab, a taxi. The taxi took me to our apartment. And the best thing that I did was I packed all my bags, all my belongings, before we even went out to that last spot, which is called, to the last spot, which is called Casa de la Musica. I packed because I knew just in case things get out of hand or I get home a little late, all I had to do is just grab my bag and put it in a taxi and then take off to the airport. So what ended up happening is I get to the apartment. All my bags was already up front by the door. All we had to do is just Jorge and his brother. They grabbed one bag. I grabbed one bag, and then everybody just grabbed a bag, and then we ran down. Stepped down to the stairs, all the way to because the stairs, man, the stairs are pretty long. It's a long stair to take if you're going to Cuba. If you're going to Cuba, don't travel with a lot of luggages. Travel lights. Once you get there and you don't have a lot of things to carry, you will feel way much better having to climb up those stairs and down, up and down, especially when it's time to go and you're in this condition that I'm in, that I was in before I took off. So anyway, we get into the cab, and in the cab, I had to put the window down because I needed some air. And then I started getting some air. Then I ran into this guy who's a Canadian. And then so me and him, we started speaking French. He's like, oh, I've been here for a I've been in Cuba. I came out here to retire because one thing that I realized, a lot of Canadians who have retired have houses in Cuba. But the only way you can have a house in Cuba is if you are married to a Cuban. So that's how they have houses most of the time. Most of the time, I think what they do is they go to Canada when it's okay, when it's kind of like the temperature is okay. When the temperature gets a little wild, because in Canada it gets cold. It gets cold, cold, cold. If you've never been in Canada during winter, you wouldn't know. You'll think Chicago is cold. No, when you go to Canada in winter, it is so cold. You have to be used to the cold weather when you go to Canada during winter. So they'll come down to Cuba, to their houses in Cuba when it's like winter time, which is like a great vacation, and just enjoy themselves. Because out here in Cuba, you could do fishing, you could do a whole lot of things. If you just try not to look at it as a bad place to be in, because the condition that you're looking at it is from a different lens. Different lens meaning you expecting where you're coming from to be Cuba to be the same way. Don't expect that. Just expect it as a different experience. So I enjoy being in Havana, Casa de la Musica. It was a great experience. The next time when I go back to Cuba, my very first stop, or I have to do a stop in between me having to leave Cuba, I have to go to Havana, Casa de la Musica, because it's a great place. The music is amazing. And I had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time just being in there. It's good for people who enjoy salsa, people who enjoy culture music, and in whichever form that Cuba has to present. It's amazing. The place that's called FAC, Factory Art de Cuba, which I try not to go there on a different day because the music was great one day, and then the next day when we try to go in there, it turns into techno. So it's like you go in there, every single room is like techno. I wasn't feeling that. So even I told Ray, I was like, man, listen, this techno stuff, I don't do techno. It's good to listen to it for like 5 minutes, but for like 3 hours of being in this place, it just doesn't click with me. It could be there's different type of techno. There's techno where everybody else could get to listen to, where the music is produced pretty well, and then there's a techno where it's just like bang, bang, bang. It's like a noise to your ears, and it gets annoying when you drink. So I enjoy myself being in Havana Casa de la Cuba. No, Havana Casa de la Musica. It's an amazing place, and you should definitely, definitely visit this place when you go to Cuba. It's a ball. If you love music, you love instruments, and you love salsa, you love rumba, you love everything that Cuba has to offer as far as music, go to this place. You will see a lot of experienced and skillful artists. I'm just shocked that these people are not known. And comparing to some of the gimmicks that you see in Miami, uh, there's some, I don't know, man. The politic in music and Cuban music, it sometimes it just pisses me off because you see somebody who's really, really good, but Miami never picks up on them because there's that racial, boundary of things where Cuba has to be presented by somebody of a different skin tone than Afro in order to be successful in Miami. All right, because once they get to Miami, pops them up, and then the whole United States, as far as the people who are into, Latin music, they pick up. But if Miami doesn't accept it, the music just stops there in the ocean.
Oye, saludos a esa mesa que está por ahí con la maderita. Oye, cuido de Cuba, que está haciendo una llamada de vuelta. Un placer tenerlo esta noche por acá.
Dígame conmigo, se le da que se me aclara de su